This lesson will review how to check in your voters using your EVID machine. Most voters are excited to see you on Election Day, and many voters will come in prepared with their identification ready. You can use their driver's license or state-issued ID to pull up their voter record in your EVID machine. To find their voter record, you can either swipe or scan their driver's license or Florida-issued ID, or you can do a manual search. Finding a voter is easy. First, greet them and ask for their identification. You'll swipe the ID from the top to the bottom with the picture facing towards you. Or you can scan their ID, the backside, the 2D barcode, with your scanner. Once you swipe it or scan it, the voter's record will appear before you on your EVID screen. This is what will appear. This is a typical voter record showing the voter's name and address. Your EVID will also show the voter the information that we have on file for them. The signature pad will display the voter's information, their name, their birth date, and their address. Have the voter review the information on the signature pad and ask the voter, is the information on the signature pad correct? If the voter says yes, touch yes. Have the voter sign in. Look at the identification. Is the signature acceptable? Touch Accept Signature. Once you do, the voter pass will print. You'll want to circle the ballot style at the top of the voter pass, give the voter their ID and voting pass, and send them to the ballot issuing table. At the table where we issue ballots, the voter will hand over their voter pass. At the ballot table, use the voter pass to gather the correct ballot. Show the voter both sides of the ballot and place it into a privacy folder. Then you'll just want to direct the voter to the privacy booth. You'll maintain the voter pass in your collection tray. Sometime a voter will come to the wrong polling location. If a voter checks in and they're at the wrong place, an action ticket will print. This action ticket provides the voter with their correct polling location and directions on how to get there. If your EVID cannot find your voter in the Leon County database, it will offer you the opportunity to look statewide. If the voter is found, you can print a ticket that has their out-of-county registration information. If found, this is what your EVID will tell you, that they found the match. They'll provide the voter's information, and they'll ask you if you wish to print a statewide lookup ticket. Simply touch Yes to print a statewide lookup ticket. And this is what the ticket looks like. You'll want to print the ticket and give it to the voter, and then refer the voter to the clerk, as the clerk will be the one who will do the out-of-county address changes. Remember, this will only be an option if you use a driver's license to search for your voter. If you can't find your voter, then try doing a manual search, which we will cover with this presentation. For this election cycle, the clerk will be able to actually move in the voter. The voter can be moved in from a different county into Leon County. More about how to do this is in this section. All we need to do is touch Move In, enter in their new Leon County address, and that's it. Any voter who is eligible to vote who hasn't voted in their other county is eligible to vote in Leon. But what if you can't find them? If the search cannot find the voter in the statewide database, your EVID will tell you that as well, that the search did not find anyone. And it'll ask you, do you want to do a manual search? Touch Yes. Let's try one more time to find our voter before we send them to the clerk for further assistance. Remember in the previous lesson when we discussed the different types of acceptable IDs your voter can use. Not everyone may have a valid Florida driver's license. In such instances, they can use any one of these identifications in order to qualify. Remember, you need to see a picture and signature ID, so you may need a combination of any of these identifications in order to qualify them. Also, your EVID can only read the Florida driver's license. They are not able to read any other type of identification. In order to do a manual search, touch Search for Voter. Then you can enter in their last name and their first name, or you can enter in their last name and just the initial of their first name. A window will appear with several options. Choose the correct voter. Have the voter review the information on the signature pad to make sure that the voter's name and residence is okay, then press Yes and have your voter sign in. It's that easy. So let's review that step by step. On your EVID main screen, you see the button for Search for Voter. Touch Search for Voter to begin the manual search process. The best way to find a voter is to use their date of birth or last name. New this election cycle, you can look through street information to find a voter, but you'll still need to enter the date of birth or last name. We suggest just use date of birth and last name. If you don't have identification with a date of birth, just try entering in the last name and the first initial. Your EVID then will search all the different options using that same last name and first initial. For instance, let's type Smith J. Our voter's last name is Smith, and by typing J, we're going to search the Leon County database for everyone registered with the last name of Smith and the first initial of J. Your EVID will show you all the different options. These are all the voters in Leon County whose last name is Smith and whose first initial is J. You'll just want to review your information and make sure that you choose the right J. Smith. And there's our voter, John F. Smith. Simply touch John's record, and his record will appear. Have John review the information on the signature pad, and check him in as normal. Again, manual searches are easy and nothing to be frightened of. Simply touch Search for Voter, touch birth date and enter that information, or touch last name and enter that information. Once found, the procedure is normal. Have the voter review the information on the signature pad, verify it's correct, touch Yes, have the voter sign in, and print their voter pass and have them go to the ballot table to retrieve their ballot and vote. But what if you've done everything? You've tried to look them up in the Leon County database, they're not in the statewide database, and the manual search still didn't find your voter. Well, we can still assist our voter. At this point, you'll want to have them go to the clerk. The clerk can contact our office so that we can do a more in-depth search to see if we can't locate the voter's record. Remember, your clerk is there to help, and they're a valuable member of the team that we couldn't do without. Normally, in class, we would sing a song. Well, we're still going to sing the song, so have a little fun. Sometimes voters need to update their information, their name or their address. We'll go over updating a voter's record in more depth soon, but I wanted to show you what the affidavit looks like that the voter will use to update their address. This is the address change affidavit. It allows the voter to complete this information so that you have record of the voter's address being updated. It's a very short and easy form that makes it easy for you to enter it into your EVID. We'll cover this in Lesson 5 of Section 2 in more depth. But don't worry, it's easy. Alright, let's move on to the next lesson,